So today I'm going to talk about our BTC USD trade. So this is our BTC USD and this is how it happened. So for today that's how our trade happened and that's how we did it. So we expected shorts today, but I said basing on the higher time frame analysis trades. Basing on the high time frame analysis trades, there's one reason why we never came to there's one reason why we never expected our area. So that's why it is so much crucial. Pardon about that. Always do a time frame analysis. When I speak about a time frame analysis, I mean doing having a strategic time frame structure of the trade you're going to do. So why did I consider on my BTC USD trade? So here is the big deal, and here is what I considered, and here is what I would also wish anyone to consider. Remember, for the case of BTC USD, we trade Monday to Monday, Monday to Sunday, Monday to Monday, Sunday to Sunday. So it is always a running trade, it is a crypto trade. There are very many reasons why I had to switch from Forex to crypto. Multiple reasons. One and foremost, apart from gold, which is also a metal, not a currency pair, other pairs don't look like they have enough volume. So that's why I had to focus on a pair that has some good much volume. So what do I say here? What I'm trying to insinuate here, or what I'm trying to mean is that I came first, I had to check my weekly time frame. First. So I clicked on my weekly time frame. Those who have been following me have been seeing the multiple analyses I've been making and how trades always run. So when I reach on my weekly time frame, this is it. So on my weekly time frame, this is how we considered it, and this is the kind of trade we got. So we saw all the weekly volume is well filled and don't have any imbalance. So the nearby imbalance is up, and on our left leg, this was swept and there's no imbalance, and on the far left, this was also has no imbalance. So which means all the OBs here we are valid for consideration. Then I went to my daily time frame. When I reach on my daily, I have this imbalance not filled, but on my first leg, all of this imbalance is filled. There's no any imbalance. So on my far leg, that's where I have an imbalance that is not filled. So what do I mean is, like, I would first consider this nearby leg before I switch to the next leg. I don't know if I'm trying to be much clear or if I'm clear at all. Okay, so when we get done with that, what could be our next point? The next point is to count 4 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame, yeah, multiple OBs, no OB at the left, yeah. So this became our OB at the left, which was tapped multiple times, or OB on top, yeah. So that's why I said previously. Then we also have some big constellations between here, some big considerations in there. That's why I drop into my 1 hour time frame. Then when after reaching my 1 hour time frame, then I try to look for any imbalance nearby. So I find that my 1 hour was tapped below and before it was tapped, so which means now it is no longer a worry of a 1 hour time frame. So since it was tapped already, what will I consider now? I will try to consider what we call my lower time frame structural analysis. So my lower time frame structural analysis was giving me some reactions basing on the 4 hour daily and 1 hour reactions. So you will see, and you see some trades I took, and we shall study each reaction per reaction basing on the trades we took. So now let's say I want to use, should I use a 30-minute time frame? Let me choose a 30-minute time frame here. That's 50 minutes, sorry. Let me go back. A 30-minute time frame. So if I choose a 30-minute time frame, now we shall see, for example, for starters, I want to reconsider previous daily to current retest sessions backup. So for example, this trade, I want to consider this trade that showed me interest in buying, but I considered the previous daily week. This is the previous daily week. When I go back to daily, where am I now? Sorry. When I go back to daily, you see a previous daily week. Let me try to zoom in. Are you seeing this? No, this. So not yet. It's not here yet. Yup. Now I'm here. Are you seeing this? This is a previous day week retest. Same week retest I wanted to happen here on today, but it didn't happen because of our daily balance fill here. But when you consider this, you see all our daily is well balanced. Then if I consider our 1 hour, our 4 hour, sorry, you will see I never had any close 4 hour orbs nearby. But for the case of today, I had a very close 4 hour OB nearby and unfilled Asia in consideration, which was a nearby previous Asia. When I go back to 30-minute time frame, you will see that I have what we call, you'll see that I have what we call, this Asia was not filled, this previous Asia was not filled, and I also had unfilled Asia hereby, but on this case, this Asia was filled and also a nearby Asia was filled. So which means if price wanted to do something funny, it was not my mistake, it was its reaction. But for today, I was sure this Asia was not filled, sorry, this nearby Asia, you see, because we came and filled this, and this is where we want to take our trade to, whereby we wanted to have a retest. The closest daily OB was not filled, which was just filled today, so we wanted the retest within a void. That's why we never dropped. Then another thing, we also wanted a retest within a 4 hour void. So you see this retest was unlikely, whereas this retest was likely because of all those reasons. There was no void nearby, both 4 hour and weekly, there's no, and daily, there's no void nearby. That's why you never took that. We took this trade, was successful. Whereas for today, let's say if we considered our retest of the reaction, previous retest, daily retest, current retest, and into retest, whereby you have a void, a 4 hour void, and a daily void here, it means we couldn't have that trade successful. So that's why I never took, and my consideration was having these session highs, not Asia highs, but the last previous session highs, because it marks my daily and it marks my weekly. So when I get all this strategy and I combined it with sorry about that, with my daily strategy and Asia strategy, that's when I get the perfect trade. So I already know what I'll look for tomorrow. I'll just wait to see how price closes. But I already know what I will look for tomorrow. Then someone will say, then we also have something. So a void happened, but we got a structure break. After structure break, we have our area of retest and entry. We got a structure break today, and we have a short possibility. Whereas on our short, we said we consider the last high of today's what? The last high of today's leg. So now what do I expect here is that all this is right, but the problem is having, now we have tapped our void, but between our void, now we have tapped our OB, but between our void, these sessions didn't get activated because we had an OB on top. So don't be surprised. Let me see, even the 1 4 hour is tapped, perfect. So this 15-minute structure is now into our system. Basing on our Asia, how our previous Asia was. Remember, I get what I'm going to trade today basing on how the last market closed. So basing on today's market closure, it means I have something I can trade into the markets for tomorrow. So which means I sleep knowing what I will trade tomorrow. What I wait for is always the structure that will enable me to trade the next day. So basically, that was our trade for today. If there are any questions,